Good morning or evening or whatever time it is where you're at. It is 8 o'clock in Oregon, which means it's time for another meeting of RSS. Yay! We are going to learn today and we're going to have fun. What else do I need to say? Let's turn this over to our president, Yasmin. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, Tiger, for opening the meeting. And yet again, it's Monday. Lovely people here. I call it an RSS family because we are no more guests here. Even if you are joining us for the first time, we consider that you are already part of us because you just don't join. In case you are a Toastmaster, most of the time you are just saying yes and coming up on a roll, as is the case today. So to begin with, Krishna, would you like to introduce yourself to our group?
Yeah, good morning, all of you. I'm Krishna Kattavarapu from India. Vizag is the city. So I'm the president of All Day Toastmaster Club. And past years onwards, I am a Toastmaster. I'm enjoying my journey of Toastmaster to become a good public speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Krishna. Welcome to RSS, and we hope you will enjoy our meeting as well. Jerry, I know you're not here for the first time, but just in case you want to introduce yourself again to maybe Krishna and some of the newcomers.
Okay, thank you, Yasmin. Actually, as you mentioned, I'm an older guy here. And I attend several times. I like this family. I like this meeting. My name is Jerry. I come from China. So it's midnight, 11 o'clock p.m. But anyway, I will stay so late to wait for this club meeting because I love this meeting. So thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, and we love you. And you all are going to get super excited if I'm going to tell you who is the Toastmaster of the day today. But before I say that, I would like to wish you all happy Mother's Day because today is the Mother's Day. And not to interrupt on our wonderful ride ahead, ladies and gentlemen, it will not be difficult for you to spot the Toastmaster of the day on the screen. One of the most graceful faces, serene faces, which you are just waiting to hear is there, our very Sarah, who is going to take up as the Toastmaster of the day today. Sarah, please take it forward.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you for that introduction. And thank you everyone for being here. I want to remind you that we encourage our participants by giving an applause like this, so that I will ask you to do this every time someone is called upon the virtual scenario. And the topic or the theme of the day is Mother's Day. I was really surprised when Jasmine mentioned that today it is Mother's Day because Mother's Day is celebrated in many countries in the world, but not on the same day. I will give you some interesting information about this during the meeting. And first of all, let me tell you that this day is already celebrated for more than 100 years. It was originated in the USA by a woman called Anna Jarvis. She held a small memorial service for her mother. And from this time on, some people in the US started to celebrate the Mother's Day. And it was in the year 1914 when it was established as an official holiday by the President of USA. With this, I want to give you a briefly description of our meeting for our guests and also for the Toastmasters that are always visiting this meeting. It is composed of 3 parts, and in the first part we have the prepared speeches. Then in the second part we will have the impromptu speeches. And in the third part, we have the evaluation of the whole meeting. for this specific meeting, it was also requested to bring a photo of your mother so that we can talk a little bit about this day, that you can introduce something about your mother. So I will ask you that if you have a role, if you introduce that role, that you can also show the picture that you brought. For this, I will start calling upon the technical team that will help to run the meeting and will give feedback at the end of how we did or what can we improve. And first of all, I will call the grammarian. And the grammarian today is no other than our Vice President of Education, Ravi. Ravi, please describe your role. Give us the word of the day. And also, if you have the picture of your mother, please show us.
Thank you, Sarah. And yeah, a very happy Mother's Day in advance to all of the mothers that are here in today's meeting, and to your moms as well, from me, the grammarian. Why do we need grammar? Well, I think that's a tough one if you ask me, but I think for us to be able to make sense when we talk to each other, we definitely need to follow some rules. Otherwise, if we were to make up sentences that didn't really make sense to each of us following our own rules, yeah, communication would be very difficult. And that's one of the reasons why I think we need grammar. So as the grammarian for the day today, I'm going to keep track of good usages and not so good usages of grammar and jot them down and come back when I'm called upon by the general evaluator and share my report. In addition, I also have a word of the day that I'd like to share. Word of the day today is nurture. I will also share the word of the day and its meaning and usage in a sentence in the chat a little later. Again, the word of the day is nurture. Nurture is to grow or help somebody grow. It could even be a plant, a pet, but in the context of today's meeting, which is about Mother's Day, I would like us to think about all the nurturing and nourishment that we've received from our moms as we grow up, be it as children, adolescents, or even adults for that matter. Every time somebody uses the word of the day, we applaud them, be it this way or with a thumbs up. That encourages people to use the word of the day. And the expectation is also that you take the word away from today's meeting and use it in your day-to-day lives as well. That's about it. Over to you, Sarah. And oh yeah, a photo of my mother. But I have a picture of my family. Let me just zoom in on my mom and my dad. Okay. Okay, I think I need to get rid of my background, but I think you guys get the gist, right? So those are my parents. Thank you. Back to you, Sarah.
Thanks for sharing, Ravi. And the next role player today will be our accounter, just a guest that decided to step in with this role. Thank you, Krishna, for taking this role. And please let us know what is this about.
Yeah, good morning, friends and fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I'm Krishna Kattavarapu. My role is accounter. So as the responsibility of this accounter is, I'm going to be check it and count short pauses and long pauses and repeated words, so that after the end of the speeches, I can give my report, so that you can nurture your speeches to become a good public speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Krishna. Yeah, and also those roles, grammar, accounter, etc., they are nurturing our whole meeting. Thank you for taking them so serious. We also have a timer who will help us to keep track on the time. Today is Ayu. Ayo, would you like to introduce your role?
Thank you, Sarah, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, I am not really going to show my face, but I will, because I will share this virtual background, and this is my green. I hope you see it, and then this is my yellow, and this is my red. Green means we have reached our first allotted time, and then you still can continue to talk. When it's yellow, it means it's very near to the end of our allotted time. And the red means we need to wrap up our speech, and every speaker has 30 seconds to do so. For prepared speech, we only have one person today. I believe it will be 5 to 7 minutes. So 5 is green, yellow is 6, and red at 7 minutes. For table topic, 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute green, 1 minute 30 yellow, and 2 minute red. For evaluation, 2 minutes green, 2 minute 30 second yellow, 3 minutes red. And if you are more than 30 seconds today, I'm going to give you this. Okay, with that, I would like to show you, I need to take out this and I will show. This is mom.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Toastmaster of the Day, I think speaker has a comment on the timing. Michelle, is your speech for 5 to 7 minutes today?
Yes, no, I typed in the chat. I am doing 2 impromptu speeches, and each one is 2 to 4 minutes. So green on 2, yellow on 3, and red on 4. Thank you.
And it will be 2 times, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle, for pointed out. I think Ayu, the timer, already noted. Thank you very much. Okay, so we can move on to the first part of the meeting, but before going there, let me tell you, I already told you at the beginning that different countries are celebrating Mother's Day in different dates. So for US, it's the second Sunday of May. For Mexico, for example, is always the 10th of May. So in this week. And something interesting is that this day is the most popular holiday for gift giving, just after Christmas. And that around 55% of the families in US decided to celebrate that outside home, which means that the restaurants and these kind of places are full at that day. They usually go to dine in restaurants, or they offer some entertainment for the mothers. Okay, and now let's go to the part of the prepared speeches. Although our speaker today will be doing a project which is about delivering impromptu speeches. They will be from 2 to 4 minutes, and the topics will be given by me, one topic, and one other topic by the Vice President of Education, Ravi. So Michelle, are you ready to start? Let me give you the topic. So Michelle, one of the challenges of the Toastmasters clubs in the recent time is that they need to increase membership, or they need to retain members. In your experience, do you know some strategies to do so?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Very timely question. How do clubs increase membership? That is always one of the biggest challenges of clubs all over the world, especially for clubs in the what you might consider more mature areas, where the number of clubs, Toastmasters clubs, has almost reached saturation point, meaning that there's a club in almost every building where you may be going to. But there is still a way to do that. I used to serve, many years ago, I used to serve as the counterpart of the club growth director. Back then it was called Lieutenant Governor for Marketing. And one of the things, well, I will share three things. One of the things we did, one of the strategies we used to help increase membership is conducting a speechcraft program. Now, most of you who have not been to a speechcraft yet might say, speechcraft, is that like witchcraft? No, no, no. The only relevance is it's a craft, it's an art. Just like, well, I guess witchcraft is an art maybe. So speechcraft consists of a program very similar to the regular Toastmasters meeting. However, the speeches are usually shorter. So and it's like a class that has a start, has an ongoing sessions, and then it ends. It can be 4 sessions, it can be 6, or it can be 8. I prefer the 8. So what the club does is it brings in some of their experienced speakers, or they invite from other clubs to be the educational speaker for each session. And then they either market to the community, to the Chamber of Commerce, to the universities, businesses. They market this speechcraft. And sometimes they call it a different name so it doesn't sound so weird, speechcraft. They can call it learning to speak confidently or effectively. And usually they will charge a small fee. What happens is this fee is then used for the membership if the speechcraft student wants to join. I can talk so much about speechcraft, but just for you to tease your mind, you can look on Toastmasters International for more details. The second one to increase membership is reaching out to the previous members. Because as the saying goes, love is sweeter the second time around. Why do you have to go and look for new members when you can reach out to previous members and say, hey, we miss you, and maybe even have a program, a special welcome for the previous members to come back? That's another way to have the membership increased. And the third one, there are many others, but just for now, the third one is to have contests among the present members. Whoever can bring in a new member will get certain points. You can break them up into teams or individually. So each member will be going out actively trying to recruit new members because it's a contest. Hey, they want to be the winner. And so these three really helps to enhance and increase the membership. And maybe we can talk about this for application in our club some other time. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for nurturing us with your experience. Very interesting ideas. And for sure, I think we can apply some of them for our club. And at this point, I want to give the word to Ravi, our Vice President of Education, who will give you the next topic.
Thank you, Sarah. Michelle, the topic for you is this. If you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to? I've also put it in the chat. If you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to?
What a philosophical question. If you are saying yes to this, what are you saying no to? Imagination can run wild with that question. If you're saying yes to this, what are you saying no to? In reality, every time we say yes to something, we have de facto to say no to something else, even if we have not consciously thought about it. For example, if you say yes to attending a Toastmasters meeting early in the morning, the corollary to that is you're saying no to an extra hour of sleep. if you say yes, and this would be on a more serious note, if you say yes to having children, then you are saying no to just caring for yourself and just nurturing only yourself, nurturing your own needs. Because if you say yes to motherhood, then you have to say no to so many selfish things. In fact, there's a very common belief, and it's probably true, that mothers are the most selfless beings on the planet. Think about your own mothers. They probably say no to so many things, their own needs, their own desires, their own fatigue, this need for rest, because they're saying yes to you, to nurture you, to help you when you were a kid, to help you with your schoolwork. As grown-ups, you may not realize it, but mothers still have to nurture their grown-up children. So they have to say no to their own needs. I personally, because I have grandchildren, then that's also a yes to nurturing grandchildren. And sometimes no to, like when Dave and I were visiting the grandkids in the Philippines, it's sometimes no to just doing our favorite game, which is playing card games. See, the cards are always with us, but sometimes saying no to that because the granddaughter wants to talk or sometimes just needs to vent. But of course, you have to say yes to listening, even if you're not supposed to say anything, right? Just making eye contact, just nodding and saying yes to, I am here, I understand your pain, it's hard, but it's going to get better. All of that is a yes, but there's always a corresponding no. And with Toastmasters, one of the core values is integrity. So when we join Toastmasters, we say yes to having our integrity, to other core values: service, excellence, and respect. We say yes to those 4 core values. We say no de facto to the opposite of those. So we don't practice any unethical strategies, and we definitely show respect to everyone. We strive to serve and we seek excellence. So on that point, I think I have said yes to doing impromptu speeches. Therefore, I have said no to just switching off my camera and finishing my breakfast. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for that wonderful speech, or for both of them. Thank you for reminding us about these values of Toastmasters. Sometimes for some moments we forget about them, but it's good to have them always present. Now the first part of the meeting is now over. With the prepared speeches, we can now move on to the second part, which is the impromptu speeches. We will continue on that line. But before, let me share the photo of my mom. Yeah, I think it's already visible. She was a generous woman. What else can I say? Very supportive for me, for my sisters. And unfortunately, she passed away 1.5 years ago, so that I don't like this whole marketing around Mother's Day. Maybe because of that, but yeah, that's something we have on the most gift-giving holidays in the world. So now let me move to the impromptu speeches. Today they will be led by Akansha. Akansha, are you ready to take over? Now you are there. If you have the photo of your mom, you can share it with us, and then you can start with the table topic.
Okay, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Actually, currently I don't have any photo in my PC and my phone is not with me, so I will share later my mother's photo. So today's my role is to I will give you some questions on Mother's Day. This topic is mean for me, but I mean that it is very great topic and I'm very excited to present my questions. I will prepare PPT for this. So I will share my PPT. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Topic, my table topic is on Mother's Day. And in India, Mother's Day is coming up on 14 May on Sunday. And this is dedicated to world's best species, none other than our mother. I have no word to explain the importance of mother on this. So today's table topic question will be related to mothers. I hope that you all will be enjoying today's table topics. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all. So are you ready for my questions? So my first question is, how well do you know your mother? And I would like to ask this question from Jerry. Jerry, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, you mean me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounce your
you.
name correctly.
Yeah.
So how well do you know your mother?
Yeah, thank you. It's a very, very good question. It's making me to think how well, how deep I really understand my mother. Before I never thought about this issue, I think I understand my mother very well. I know her, I understand her. But when you ask me, suddenly cut off my God, I cannot spell out the details. It's just a vague, very vague impression on my mother. So I think I only can give my score from, if 100 is the first score, I only can give myself 60. Because so many things I don't know about my mother, such as what is her favorite food, what is her healthy conditions, and what is what is the most concerning thing for her. This kind of detailed issue, I have no any idea. But maybe I have some excuse, but I do not think that it's good. Maybe I live very far from my mother. I only can see about a few times each year when I go back to my hometown, since I work very far away from my mother. But anyway, I think from this times on, I need to understand more and dig deeper about my mother to care her. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster.
Thank you for your great answer. And I understand your condition because I'm also separated from my mother for my studies. So I know how you feel. So my second question. What's your mom's favorite meal and why? And this question goes to, I would like to ask this question from Yasmin.
Yeah, thank you, Table Topic Master. Would you mind to stop sharing the screen once the topic has been given so that I could also check the timer and others could also get to it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's my mother's favorite meal? Is again a question which makes me think, what does my mother eat all the time? I think her food choices are decided by us sisters. I don't remember specifically if there is any food that my mother cooks, which is her own favorite. But I do know that every time it's a holiday, she has time or she doesn't have time, or even before she prepares a meal, she would ask me and my sister as to what we want to eat, what we would like her to cook. So I believe that our choices is our mother choice. And this is just one very simple way of how we do not realize that how much sacrifices or integrated our mother's choices are to ours own. Thank you for asking this question, because if you would not have asked me this question, I would have just taken it for granted that my mother cooks what I like without realizing the underneath fact that her choices are driven by our choices. So this is one very simple example, and I would not be surprised if many of you would also share the same feeling that your mother is more interested in cooking what you would love and asking you repeatedly if she had prepared a nice meal. I do know cases when she keeps on asking me 10 times, so how is the vegetable today? And I'm like, Mama, it's okay. It's the food is the same. But now after this table topic, I will make sure that at least when I like something, I'm going to say back to her, thank you, Mom, for preparing this dish, which is something I do notice that you prepared because I like it. And that's your liking to make me feel what is good for me. So thank you, Akansha, and back to you.
Thank you, Yasmin, for sharing your experience. I think you are right, because our moms never thinks about herself. They always thinks about their child, what they likes or not. So that's all. And my third question, what is the biggest adventure that you have been on with your mother? So this question goes to Sarah. Sarah, I know your mother passed away, so it's a bad thing. But can you please share one of your adventure with your mother, if you remember?
Thank you, Akansha, for the question. I'm an adventurous person. I actually live abroad for many years now, and I really like to travel and to have always new experiences. But for my mother, it was different, because I could never convince her to go out with me or do something. Surprisingly, there was some few times in which I told her, like, come on, let my sisters stop caring that much about them, stop cooking every day for them, and let's have a trip together. And she accepted, just because it was kind of a relaxing trip to go, to the beach, to stay at the sea, to see the sunset and so on. So the times I had an adventure with her were not many times, but it was unforgettable. And for sure, it was only a few days, because she wanted to go back at home and, as a good mother, nurturing the whole family, to have control over everything, to make sure that everything was going well. So yeah, those are the memories I have. Some few days at the beach, relaxing days with my mother. And now I will give you the word back to you, Akansha.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And my next question is, what is the quality you most like in your mom? And I would like to ask this question from Ravi, to answer me, what is the quality you most like in your mom?
What is the quality I most like in my mom? I'm looking at her right now as I say this, actually.
Is she sitting near you?
Not very close to me, not close enough for me to bring her on camera. But one quality that I think I really like about her, if I had to put into a word, I think it would be resilience. She's been through quite a lot in her life before I was born and also after I've been born. And there have been a lot of different things that have happened to her over the years, health-wise, work-wise, family-wise. So she's been through quite a lot. And I think she's come out of all of that with a lot of grit and determination. And I think that's something that I really like about her. I admire about her. She's always, one of my friends says, and that's something that I didn't realize or never really thought about much, but one of my very good friends, he says that whenever he looks at my mom, she always appears to be at peace. She looks very peaceful all the time, and he wonders how she manages to do that. So I think that would be another quality, perhaps. I know I was supposed to have only one quality, but if you let me, since it's Mother's Day, I'd like to pick on those two. One is how she appears calm, composed, peaceful all the time. And the other thing is how resilient she is. And that's something that I need to learn from her as well. Thank you. Back to you, Akanksha.
Thank you, Ravi. Yeah, you are absolutely right that mothers have take up a lot of challenges while give birth to a child. So just a minute, I will share my screen. And my next question is, consider your mom smart or creative? And this question goes to Krishna. Krishna, are you able to hear me? Do you consider your mother smart or creative?
I consider my mom as innocent rather than smart and creative. She's illiterate and she's very hardworking, and she used to go every day to the fields and get the grass for my cattle, and she will get the milk from the cattle and selling the milk and feeding us also. And every day from morning 4 o'clock she will wake up, and always I'll see that when she's doing the one or other work only, and preparation of the food and going to the field, doing the agriculture work and coming back once again preparing the food. And only one thing she will tell that one she realized that only education only can prosper our life. She don't know, she's illiterate, but she knows the value of education. So that's why with her hard work and she used to get the very maximum 50 rupees to 100 rupees per day the wages, and with that amount she's given good education to myself and to my father, to my brother. And today I'm working, I'm proudly I can say that one the success of mine thing is really is her blessings. So today I'm working as a deputy general manager in Pfizer, in one of the pharmaceutical company. As you know that when we are producing the COVID vaccine also, that is the company. I'm very proud, and I'm as a microbiologist. These are all the things credit will goes to my mother. She's never been creative and not innovative, but is very innocence with a good heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Krishna. And you are right that our mothers are like the goddess on this earth for us. And with this, I will share my screen for the next. And my next question is, what is the best piece of advice your mother has ever given you? And I would like to ask this question from Ayu. Ayu, are you able to hear me? Ayu?
Yeah.
I think
Just a moment.
Okay, so my question is that what is the best piece of advice your mother has ever given you?
I really don't remember specific or one piece of advice that over and over and over again she gave me. But I do remember that she always called me twice every time she called me. So I always, the naughty me always wait until the second time. And even the second time I will not pick up, I will call her back just to make sure mom will do it twice. Am I right? That's always like that. And that is the thing that's memorable from my mom. And she doesn't do that when I was young, teenager, or until now. She always do that. She always does that twice. Okay, one piece of advice that my mom is very, how to say, she loved my dad so much. So she always not on my dad advice. I will share with you my dad advice that my mom loved it so much. When you are happy, don't show that you are very happy. And when you are sad, don't cry out loud. That's actually very in line with Buddhism things about balance in life. So that's what I always do. When it's hard, I will say, okay, this one will also pass. Thank you for asking that, Akansha.
Thank you, Ayu. Thank you so much for your answer. And I think that it is that naturally in mother's nature that she always give advice to their child every time they have a new advice for their children. So this is my last question, and I would like to call Titin for this question. What was your best vacation memory with your mother?
Thank you, Akansha, for this question. My best vacation memory with my mom was just several months before she passed away. We managed to have time to visit our hometown in West Borneo. And it was really a trip that we were very much grateful for, because that was the last trip that we had, my mom and I had, before she passed away just several months after that. We managed to visit my uncle's home in my hometown and several of our relatives there. They are my mom's siblings and my cousins and other relatives there. So even though it was a simple trip and their homes were simpler there, however, I feel very much grateful to have that opportunity. So it is not the fancy vacation or the trip that I feel very much touching, but it is the trip that I had with my mom, visiting my family members where she grew up in. That was in West Borneo. And until now, I did not have a chance to visit that place again. And yeah, thank you for reminding me that it's been a long time already. It was around 9 years ago that we visited that place, and maybe it is time now for me to visit that place again. Thank you, Akansha.
Thank you, Titin, for your answer. And with this, I complete my table topics. And thank you so much. I hope that you all enjoy my questions and instead of getting bored. And with this, I stop sharing my screen. And thank you so much. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Akansha. Great questions. Just a big round of applause for Akansha and all the participants. Thank you very much for that. And now it's time to go to the evaluation part of the meeting. Today, the general evaluator will be Tiger. And let me give you some other curious piece of information about Mother's Day. One country that doesn't celebrate Mother's Day is, can you imagine which country is it? Well, it is Russia. And they do it like this because they celebrate the International Women's Day. On that day, they have presents and they have parties and other celebrations. This day actually is increasing in status there by every year. So it's an interesting comparison between other parts of the world and what are they doing there. With this, I will hand over to Tiger. And Tiger, if you have a picture of your mom, please share before starting your role as general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. This is my mom, or was my mom. I took that picture, and if you can see, she's smirking. She's not really smiling, she's smirking. And you know why she's smirking? Because she kicked my butt that day in golf. It really annoys me. My mom's about this tall to me and weighs about half as much as I do. I could never beat her in golf. And she is super competitive. That's one thing that she installed in me, to be super competitive. I could never beat her, which my stepfather thought was hilarious. Afterwards, he'd give me lots of beer to settle me down. All right, with that being said, let's move on to the general evaluation part, the education part. Let us start with our evaluator of Michelle, which I believe is, and I love to say this, a former district champion of evaluation, Yasmin.
Sorry, some correction. It's Titin.
Ah, Teton is evaluating Michelle. Well, okay, so Teton will be a future district champion in evaluation. How's that? Go ahead, Teton. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Tiger. Fellow Toastmasters, don't you think that Michelle, as an impromptu speaker, should win an award as a district champion for the table topic? Peaches. Definitely, because she had all the answers off the cuff. Michelle, if I may analogize your impromptu speeches as this traditional Philippines food, the balut. That is the hard-boiling incubated duck egg. Your speech is flavorful. And this meal is definitely best consumed in a good time. When is the good time? It is none other than when you gave us an enjoyable speeches to follow. There are 3 points that I like very much from your speech. First one, you internalize the impromptu speeches, the impromptu questions by repeating them to embrace the questions. And you did it for both of the questions. So you repeated the questions first to let it internalize before you answer them. Second, you use the pause sign, 1, 2, 3, explain each of them very well. That was for your first impromptu question. Third, you were very calm and poised, and you were even very well prepared, even though it was an impromptu session. And you even managed to grab something near you to make it as your prop. That was the game that probably you played with your grandchildren children. And as how people usually would like to enjoy the balut, they pair it with beer, which is translated into 2 suggestions that you may want to consider. First one, as I saw that you still have some time before the timer showed the red card, you may want to provide a short conclusion to end your speech so that we can grasp the content of your speech better and perhaps with the message that you would like to share with us. And second, you manage to incorporate the impromptu question to the meeting theme, that is to tie your speech to the Mother's Day theme. And then you relate it to the Toastmasters core value. In my opinion, your speech went too broad, and I think it will be even more wonderful if you could make it simpler by tying it back to the beginning of your speech, rather than going to the Mother's Day theme and then going to the Toastmasters core values as the content of your speech. So Michelle, thank you very much for sharing such an enjoyable impromptu speeches. Keep inspiring, warming people's heart, and I hope to be able to enjoy this balut with you one day, complete with the drinks. With that being said, I would like to raise my glass and cheers to many more of your impromptu speeches that you would like to deliver to all of us. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. I'm going to evaluate her evaluation while it's still fresh. Notice that she gave numerous positive feedback to Michelle, specific feedback of what she liked about the speeches. Then she came and gave Michelle 2 recommendations, which quite frankly was very difficult because off the cuff, Michelle is, I don't want her to get a big head, but absolutely brilliant. It was almost as if she knew what 2 questions were coming. Of course, she has a lot of experience doing this, but I hope that everybody learned about how to give impromptu or how to answer table topics. She thought about her answers and she gave reasons, she gave examples, she had conclusions. Very well done. Very well done, Teton. Thank you so much for that. Let's move to our grammarian. How did we do with the word of the day and our language? Ravi.
Thank you, Tiger. I'd like to quote some of the usages of the English language that stood out for me. There might have been others that stood out for you as well. I've only jotted down the ones that caught my attention. Here they are. So off the cuff is something that I heard Teton say, and I also heard Tiger say it just now. Internalize, poised, de facto, the values of Toastmasters: integrity, service, excellence, and respect. Most selfless beings on the planet. I think this was about moms. Corollary, that's something from mathematics that I haven't heard in a long time. So it brought back interesting memories. Love is sweeter the second time round. That was also a very interesting expression. First time I'm hearing it, but I'll wait to fall in love a second time with my wife. Just to tease your mind is also something that I think Michelle used, and that was really good as well. On the not so good usages, I think I heard, again, this might be because of Zoom, but I heard innocence, and I think the speaker intended to say innocent. So those are 2 different usages of the word. And innocence is one and innocent is another. Only education only can prosper our life. I think we wanted to say only education can help us prosper in our lives. And instead of getting bored, I think the slide said bored. So I don't know if that was the intention, instead of getting bored. So those were 3 instances that I caught. But other than that, I think some very good usages of grammar. Now, for the word of the day was nurture. I heard Sarah use it 3 times and Michelle used it 5 times. I do not think I heard anybody else use it at all. I think I didn't use it myself either. That's about it. Back to you, General Evaluator. I hope.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Ravi. We all had the opportunity to use nurture, me included, and we didn't do it. It was an excellent word that goes excellent with Mother's Day. Thank you, Sarah and Michelle, for using it. The rest of us kind of bailed on you, Ravi. Sorry about that. Let's go to our timer. Ayu, how did we do with our timing?
Mr. General Evaluator, I just put it in the chat. I just dropped it there. And since like only Titin had 2 seconds, oh no, 7 seconds over. But with that kind of evaluation, you decide. And thank you everybody for doing a great job in terms of time. And over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate Ayu that you put the times in the chat after they're done. I think that's a great way for everybody to look and go, oh, okay, that was my time. I was in time or I was off time, out of time. I was out of time. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for a short, sweet report. Ravi, thank you so much for your report. However, I'm a little upset with you because you stole my thunder on a couple of people, what they said. Because what's next? If you guys know me, this is a quiz. We're going to find out how well you listen. Number 1, and I'm very disappointed we didn't get to see this. What was the timer going to show if you went over time? What was it going to say? Go ahead and unmute yourself. This is a meeting where you unmute yourself and yell, I don't care. Go for it.
Boom, boom, pow.
Go ahead, Ravi.
Boom, boom, pow.
Ah, how about that? And she had the opportunity to use that and she didn't. I was so disappointed. I'm like, come on, Teton's over time. Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, she's being too nice. Okay. When did Mother's Day start as an official holiday in the United States? What year?
Is that 1940?
19.
Something like that. 1914.
1914. Very good.
Okay.
6 years before women got the legal right to
vote. Right to vote.
Okay. How many times does Jerry visit his mom? Anybody?
Jerry left with a smile. Jerry smiled a lot because nobody can answer that. He wins.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you said 2 or 3 times a year. Is that correct? Okay. Who said her choices were our choices?
Yasmin.
Yasmin.
Yes.
And I can tell you growing up, that was never, well, the only time that was the case for me was my birthday. Other than that, my mom cooked what my mom wanted to cook. And she was really a good cook. What is Ravi's favorite quality in his mother?
He had 2. Resilience.
Resilient.
Calm and composed.
Ravi, they actually listen to you. Imagine that. Okay, this is a duel. So if you don't get this, you weren't listening twice. Who used the idiom off the cuff?
Tiger and Titin.
Very good. Yeah, I love that idiom, off the cuff. What is my mom's favorite sport?
Golf.
Golf.
Yeah, and I can never beat her. All right, that is so annoying. Even when I was in my 20s, I couldn't beat her. And I actually thought I was a decent golfer. Okay, there you go. Very well done. Michelle gets the award, as usual, for being the most observant listener. Although I think a lot of you probably knew the answer and you're just too shy to say it. That's okay. Real quick, evaluation, I already mentioned, excellent. She gave specific things that she liked. She gave 2 recommendations. Very well done. She went just a hair over time, but I think we give her a pass because it was so well done. Timer, very efficient, putting the times in the chat. This is a very good thing to do. And her timing report was short and sweet because she already had the times in chat. Our grammarian did a very good job of pointing out a few things that we said that were incorrect. He kept track of the word of the day. It was an excellent word of the day, even though we didn't use it. That's not on him, that's on us. So Ravi, thank you very much. The meeting as a whole, we got started, I think, a minute late, maybe 2 minutes late. Yeah.
We have an art counter.
Oh, we have an art counter.
That's one art. That's one art, Krishna.
I'm passing over our guest. Krishna, it's not personal, it's just me. I don't have all timers, I have some timers, so bear with me. Right. Okay, Mr. Art Counter, please give us your report.
Yeah, I'm back with my art counter report. And Ayu and Michael, Akanksha, Jerry, Ravi, and Nitin, and Tiger. I didn't find any ums and short forges, long forges, and no repeated words. Whereas Sarah, 2 times and 2 times she used, and Asmin 1 time That's a report of mine. Thank you very much.
So Krishna, being that we do have a little bit of extra time as a guest, why don't you give us a short and sweet, maybe a minute evaluation of our meeting?
Right.
Oh, Krishna, I was asking you for your opinion of our meeting. Go ahead and take a minute or so and give us your opinion, your observations.
This is excellent, and as per the format you people are doing, and I'm very happy to see different people, different country people are joining in this club, so that I can able to absorb different accent of the language. So it's very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, you're welcome back anytime. And thank you for jumping in and taking a role in a foreign club at the last second. That shows a lot of gumption. All right. Our meeting got started just a hair late. One thing I would recommend everybody is try to show up at least 5 minutes early, if not a little bit more, so that the Toastmaster, the Vice President of Education don't get a headache, you know, worrying about, oh my goodness, is the timer here? Is the evaluator here? Just give them about 5 minute leeway so that when we're down to a minute or 2 to go, we know that everybody's here. That would put a little less stress on Ravi and today Sarah. Thank you very much for that. I really enjoyed the impromptu speeches. Again, Michelle did an excellent job of actually giving us lessons in table topics. Even though she got to speak for 4 minutes, she still had impromptu questions. And again, she started out with a statement. She gave reasons, she gave examples, she gave a conclusion. It's a very simple formula, but it's very easy. If you think about that in your head while you're doing table topics, make a statement, give reasons, an example or 2, a conclusion, it keeps you focused. So thank you, Michelle, for that. That was an excellent example. Teton, again, thank you for an excellent example of how to do an evaluation, give specific positives, give a couple specific recommendations, and then she finished up with a very positive thing to say. Excellent example of a good evaluation. Akanksha, I appreciate the fact that your questions were right on task with the theme of the day. Your questions were thought-worthy. If you look at the times, everybody spoke for at least, I think, 1.5 minutes or more, which means that the question was thought-provoking. Greatly appreciate the questions, and thank you for putting them on the screen so not only could we hear them, but we could read them. Who else? Oh, of course, our star of the day, the Toastmaster of the day. Again, Sarah stepped up at the last minute. we had a Toastmaster that stepped out. I think Sarah actually volunteered yesterday on Sunday to take over as Toastmaster. Sarah, excellent. You are a professional Toastmaster. You do such an excellent job. You start out with some explanations about Mother's Day worldwide in the US. You gave us information as we went. You kept the meeting going very smoothly. You made comments, but you didn't overextend your comments. Oftentimes, a Toastmaster will start giving personal experiences or personal examples, which is okay if it's short and sweet, but really what you want to do is make short comments about what other people did, and it's not about you. So Sarah, excellent job. Again, another example of how to be Toastmaster of the day. So we had excellent examples of impromptu speaking. We had excellent examples of an evaluation. We had excellent examples of a Toastmaster of the day. Again, our grammarian, very well done. So not only was this meeting fun, I saw people laughing every once in a while, and it was very educational. So thank you very much. At that, I will give it back to our Toastmaster of the day for some final comments.
Thank you, Tiger. A round of applause for you. Thank you for that feedback for our whole meeting. And now I just want to tell you that we have one special day to celebrate our mothers, but remember, they do our whole life special or every day. So why not to celebrate them every day? I encourage you to do so. With this, I will thank you for the meeting, and I will pass the word to our president, Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Sarah. Can we all just have a round of applause for the wonderful meeting which we have just spent like 1 hour? We didn't realize the topic was so relatable, and I could see we were all so engaged for 1 hour. Thank you, everyone. I think General Evaluator has said it all. I would rather open the floor for anyone who would like to have comment. Yes, I see Ayu. Go ahead, Ayu.
I would like to extend some district event, which is District 7 conference. I will put in the chat. It is d7toastmaster.org, and you can go to event calendar. When you click that, you will see it is the District 7 conference will be on May 19. Remember, May 19 means in Indonesia means May 20. So please make sure that you have the timing correct. Just put that, convert that with your word clock or clockwork. May 19th to 20th. That's one. Number two, I would love to invite Akansha and Krishna. If you are looking for a Toastmaster club, then RSS is one. With that, thank you, Yasmin, for the chance to share the information.
Thank you, Ayu. This is very much appreciated. Tiger, do you want to say something?
I was just going to mention that it's time very soon to do our officers again, or do our officers have a 1 year? It's been 1 year, correct? Ayu, it's already been 1 year, right? Yasmin's going, yeah, it's been a year. Yeah. Give me a break. So please consider what office you are interested in. We need 6 officers, so everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but we do, we need 7 officers. So please, if you're a member, think about what office you would like to take, and we're going to have a election. It'll be more of I don't think there's probably going to be 2 people for 1 position, but at any rate, we're going to have a formal meeting, and that is up to Ayu, I think. Aren't you the immediate past president? So we will schedule that in the next few weeks. So think about what you want to do. Think about what you want to do, and let's progressed. We had an excellent leadership team this year. Yasmin had to do a little bit of scrambling because couple people dropped out. That's just reality. That's the reality of the world, that, you know, people get busy and they drop out. So Yasmin, wow, great job this year of keeping things rolling. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much,
Yasmin.
Thank you very much, Tiger. Thank you very much. You much appreciated. 2 important notices, I believe, for our club related matters. First, guests, Akansha, Krishna has already received the invite, and I would further extend it to Jerry in case RSS is really looking forward to have you as members. So think about joining RSS. Second, we have to think about our officers, upcoming officers. So 2 important notice, and I would like to invite Michelle to please inform us a little bit about the upcoming conferences registration, because I think we could all, benefit from the information you were sharing to Sarah regarding the registration and how we could even participate for some working hours. Michelle, would you like to elaborate for a minute?
Oh, sorry. Are you talking about the international convention?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So the international convention this year will be held outside the US. That is very special because it has actually only been held outside once before, or maybe twice, but outside North America only once, in Kuala Lumpur in 2014. So this time it will be held outside, although fairly close. It's near the coast of Florida. It's going to be at the Bahamas. And it officially starts on August 16 and ends on August 20. However, if you want to attend with a discount and have more fun, you can sign up for Helping Hands. Helping Hands is the volunteer program during the convention where you're working, but it's actually not working. You're having fun. Like in my case, I will be the Helping Hands team leader for the store. So I will be selling, I'll be there manning Toastmasters products, and you can come in and buy and ask questions. There will be volunteers at registration, volunteers at all the events. You will see the volunteers. If you volunteer, you will, if you're accepted, because it's already May, hopefully they still have, because usually they only accept about 200 volunteers, and maybe the number might be filling up. If you're accepted and you promise to serve at least 10 hours and attend the orientation on Tuesday, August 15, then you will have a substantial discount, at least 200. It could be 250 or 270. The registration fee might sound a little heavy, but you consider that Toastmasters to pay for the hotel and everything. The registration fee is $725 now. It will go up by July, and then it will go even higher if you go on site. And the hotel will be at the Hyatt Grand Bahamas or Hyatt Grand Mar. Beautiful place. We've already booked our hotel room and everything. So the sooner you do it, the easier it will be. Of course, you will, unfortunately, for some of us here, some of you, you will have to get a visa. And there's also a link on the Toastmasters website where you can get help for an invitation letter. Have a visa. Back to you, Madam President.
So I want to add to that, you can go online. It's going to be hybrid, so you can go online, and I can't remember, I paid for it already. I can't remember, but there's a fee if you want to go to everything, but some of the events are free. So check that out, because I'm assuming that most of you are not going to go to the Bahamas, but if you go, of course, it'll be wonderful. But go online and you can attend most of the events online And again, it's fairly cheap. It's like $50, $60, $70. It's much cheaper than flying there and paying $750. So just check that out. It's a wonderful event. If nothing else, at least go to the speech contest. The speech contests are extremely entertaining, and you'll find out how these guys give a professional speech. So anyway, check it out. It's a good experience.
Yep, indeed. Thank you very much, Michelle and Tiger. We sincerely appreciate the information. I'm sure many of us would like to do both. Maybe, those who can make it to Bahamas. If not, there is an online option. But not to forget, first thing comes first is the 19th, 20th May. That's the D7th conference. And all the very best and our wishes to you, Tiger. We see a winner in you already, but give your best.
I will be speaking Friday night, 7:15 Pacific time. So you can put that into your clock and figure out what time that is for you.
Yeah. Are you gratefully if you could share the link and meeting schedule in the WhatsApp? We would sincerely appreciate. With this, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to officially adjourn our meeting for today, but please stay around because VPE would like to fill in the agenda for the next week. So I officially adjourn our meeting.